um, let me start off by saying something that I need to say every time. Thank you, God. I am thankful that in my life I never had to stoop to this level of childlike mentality to gaslight somebody. Because perps are what they're doing. Um, and for me, I put that in their face. I want to be that person in their life that just is so wise, because their job is to be this retarded. And I say thank you, God, because what they do is such an easy thing to do that I understand why anybody can enjoy doing that. You have this ability to manipulate a human being, change a human being, do all these things to this human being, and you're nobody. Reality is designed in ways that that makes you feel okay doing what you do. Me, I'm that person for them. On top of them feeling special because they can do these things to me, and as I'm dying, these people are living life like this. I'm like, if this is how life is, my friend, you better prep yourself for something else. They are so desperate to paint a persona onto the target individual and do whatever it needs to be done to make you accept of it. Today for me, what's happening is I'm being framed, right? I'm hearing this person saying she's 16 years old. I don't know who they're framing me with. They're saying that I'm going to be framed. Somebody's going to say that I did something to them, and a child, a 16-year-old. So today, as a target individual, what I am is a test subject. They're utilizing this technology to rewire my brain. They can manipulate my brain in whatever ways. And what way they like to do, one thing they like to do is to force people to get stimulation and reaction toward children. But on top of that, they try to get you to identify with this manipulation. They want you to be like acceptive of this manipulation. This technology has been developed and been developing since the 60s. One tactic they utilize, because this is used onto us like a weapon system. They attacking the mind. They are doing everything possible to not only, obviously, they manipulate you to experience that. That's the easy part. But then they try to convince you. They put things together. For me, I'm just so thankful I'm able to see this world for what they are. And on top of that, the embarrassment of it all is reality. Can you imagine? Life is fair in so many ways. You gotta look at it this way. For me, I'm looking at it, this is just amazing. Because it helps you see this shit for what they are. I call them shit because I don't have respect for these human beings. How can you even respect yourself when I can pull that up right now? And these perps are supposed to stay in character and supposed to continue to gaslight me. God is so good, and I'm so thankful for that. Now I'm dying. Life is going to be horrible. And especially when I'm being this wise man to them. Because they just have to gaslight me. This program is a program that continuously developed this technology that since the 50s, 60s, after the Korean War, they've been working on technology, which in this case is a weapon, that can alter the mind. It's validated. There's paperwork for that. There's Pandora Project Pandora, and other studies that this Department of Defense have been working on. They have this consistency of how to break people down, right? They are attacking my mind by making me experience things I will not experience I will not experience naturally. I will not experience this experience when I look at this kid, these people. I will not. You are forcing me to have that. Especially the little kids, the little babies, the old, you are forcing me to have that. Because this technology does that. The reason they do that is because they are using this technology as a weapon. And they're weaponizing these tactics of breaking people down, right? It's obvious that it makes sense. It's like a psychology or cognitive warfare of some sort, right? Now they contract an ecosystem around you of civilians, right? They use childlike people who just are comfortable making themselves feel stupid. They are comfortable of having a childlike mentality when it's convenient. People who don't have self-respect. They just get lost in the fact that this technology is going to do whatever it's going to do to me, and there's nothing I can do about it. But the frustration sometimes is, I'm not identifying. I'm obviously seeing what you're doing. They gaslighting somebody who's like, you can look at your dumbass. You think I respect you? On top of that, I have this information. And on top of that, the humiliation that the entities running this program have issues of the nature that you're trying to impose into my brain. Let me just say that this is how magical things are, and so fair for me. And I know in their mind, I'm supposed to be like, oh, it's not fair. No, it's super fair. So this program is a program the Department of Defense has been working on it for years. They have the same system. They are altering the mind, and also they try to implant the persona that is falsified. The same entities, right? There's this article that came up because a bill was passed in introduced in 2019 because there was so much child porn issues. They were trying to do something in regard of stopping employee at the DoD downloading child porn because so much of it was happening. Literally, this is what was said. The Defense Department network ranks 19th out of 2,891 internet service providers for peer-to-peer trading of child porn in 2018, according to the National Criminal Justice Training Center, suggesting the problem has only gotten worse in the 10 years since Project Flicker wrapped up. Okay. Now, you understand? I look at this low life, I'm like, oh, really? Yeah, I know reality. Your job is to create reality. Okay? I know that these tactics of rewiring the brain have done to break us down. On top of that, I know this fact. You can use every type of gaslighting. You are a clown. And whatever way I'm going to die, I know the Department of Defense, yep, is the reason why my body is breaking down. My organs are failing and all of that because this 21st century weapon from, let me read again, from the Defense Department, or the Department of Defense, is working and developing and using guinea pigs, which are human beings in this case, to develop this weapon. Yes, the same department, the DoD network, ranked 19 out of 2,891 internet service provider for peer-to-peer trading of child porn in what year? 2018, according to the National Criminal Justice Training Center, suggesting the problem has only got worse in the 10 years since Project Flicker wrapped up. This fucking low life trash, as much as they're breaking me down, I'll look at them for, you are the fucking pickles, you trash ass. Now, the reality is in their face. So they're like, we're gonna torture you the worst way. They try to do everything to deflect from the reality. Because what's happening with me is, as I'm being manipulated with this technology, I am dealing with what they call EEG herd dining, EEG cloning, V2K. So on top of what they're doing to my body, destruction of my body, they are also attacking my mind. And they have this tactic of creating these personas. And so what they do, as today what's happening, if I look at a child or somebody who looks like a kid, they're going to force me to say stimulation, sensational emotions, right? They do that, and they're like, now we mapped it, you're under surveillance. And then they try to bring out what can they use to make me accepting of these manipulations. Today, it got to the point of, listen, I'm a man who look at women sexually sometimes, okay? I'm like every man. They try to bring up like fitness model, right? You know, this the women, or the young women, adult women that do the fitness model, this, and they do the exercise. Yes, like me, like many men, I've of course looked at them. As a matter of fact, I followed one who's like called Pineapple. I think she has a pineapple tattoo on her and she looked like what she looks like. It's like, you see, how old is she? And she's like a college student or some young 20 something. I was like, really? Really? So these people with these issues right here are talking about some fitness model That's in like some 20-year-old something like that fitness model that, you know, I'm like, okay, look at her body. It's like, you see, we proved it. Our children. And of course they start deflecting, oh, we're gonna cook you, because this technology, what they do destroy your organs via this DoD technology. I will not let this low life be this retarded. Now they try to bring up some, there was this girl, and all like young adults, and they do flips and stuff like that. They do like, you know, they do flips, they run and do flips, and you know, they also have like, you know, physically they look very sturdy, right? Because I'm not gonna lie, for me, I do prefer, and I'm not here to shame, like, women that look fit. I like kind of curvaceous individuals, especially fit individual. That's the way my preference, right? Fit looking individual, I think, is to see a strong woman looks good. And, you know, obviously still look womanly. So they try to be like, okay, no, but what about the sister? Who is she? And I'm like, I'm not going to waste my time. They're all like young adults. But somebody come, now she's 6. It was like, I'm not. You know what they want me to do is like, they want me to start looking it up, look at this, and that's like, oh, the early adulthood. And they bring out some fitness models and some people, you know, those fitness models that just show the workout regimen. It's like, that's proof. I'm not gonna let them live their fantasy. I'm not. And they try to make me be like, okay, no, but not her. But what about the sister? Her? What about because they're so desperate to paint this fantasy. Because what's happening today is, if I look at a child, not even a child, somebody, for example, when I was living somewhere else here, not too far from here, I remember I was like on Snapchat and I saw this young person, and I didn't know is she an adult or not, but she was like a skinny, you know, but just like young, but you don't know exactly how young she is. And they forced me to get stimulation. I would not be like, oh, you know, she's okay, good for her. But, you know, for me, I would say that's what would get my attention, somebody who has like curves, right? She doesn't have that, but, you know, good for her. I'm not here to listen. The reason why I make these videos and talk about this is because they are changing who I am. And so me, I speak out and try to show that how my mind is being manipulated. I know who I am. I'm not saying like if I see a 22-year-old that has like a body of like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, like any man, of course. Now, of course, I do not prefer to be with, like, I want somebody within my age range or even older than me. But I'm not stupid to say, oh no, like, these people have no shame. But that's their job. They're supposed to gaslight me. I'm supposed to be accepting of this persona. So I'm looking at this young person. I don't know how young she is. She's skinny, and it's like, I don't know. It can go either way. Fine. I wasted my energy. Of course, she's 19 years old. That's why it's kind of hard to tell. It's like, oh, that's her. It's like, that's you. It's like, no, this is what you guys do. And I'm like, good for her, but this is not for me. Like, I would not look at her as like, I want to be so. No, it's like, not you, but let me just say that there are men way older than me that would date a 19-year-old. Okay, I know the reality. For me, that's not my thing. Now, if somebody looks like, wow, I will recognize that. But these perps, they want to create this fantasy. And the embarrassment of this perp is the entities they're working for, as they try to manipulate me into accepting, not even try, as they try to make me accepting of this manipulation and to identify with them. They work for pedophiles, where I can pull up this thing like this and say the Defense Department network ranks 19th out of 2,891, and I want to make sure it's the right number here, 2,891 internet service providers for peer-to-peer trading of child porn in 2018, according to the National Criminal Justice Training Center, suggesting the problem has only gotten worse in the 10 years since Project Flickr wrapped up. Project Flickr is like this 2007 investigation where they're looking at like child porn website, and they find out there's a bunch of DoD people working at the DoD subscribing to this. 2018, this is like, it's even worse now. It's worse because they're using the computers given to them by the DoD, using the DoD internet. ranking that high, 2,891. They're 19th. You understand? And so they have this is just another layer for me to look at this low life where they are. But on top of that, they have these tactics of forcing people to have this reaction to children. They do these things which I love to have that in my hand, to be able to see that. And as I'm saying that right now, they tell me I'm going to rot in hell, deflecting to talking about that, because the obvious thing here is they have these tactics of trying to make you acceptive to this persona they put together. You heard that at the end, personnel rebuilt. And so because they do this rewiring, altering the mind, and they want you to be accepting of it. And for me, they try to paint things together. Oh, but this fitness model, how old was she? Like, really? It's like, oh, look at, oh, like, you see that supermodel? How old was she? Ah, you thought she was pretty. And they have these clowns who do everything possible, who come in all shape and form. But a lot of them are like this. Childlike people. Tell me how I'm going to rot in hell, which the reason why I will rot in hell is because they're going to frame me using their kids. You see, how does people, why would they alter your mind this way? Trash us. And they use these clowns, these childlike people that are empowered. I will never let them live the fantasy. I know who I am, and I will never identify with this manipulation. In my brain, they're doing everything possible to just make me accepting of this manipulation. They make me think about what about the sister of this people, the person who was doing the flip there, and then try. It's like, I'm not gonna identify with anything that you forcing me to experience. Whatever way you try to the sister of this person, but you saw the sister there. How old is this sister? It was like, pfft. And they want me to waste my energy to look for it. I'm not gonna do it. I could spend hours. I remember I tried to look for what I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even remember the name of this person. It's not the person, it's their sister. It's like, oh, but what about the sister? The sister. And they try to, okay, but maybe there she was about when you went back. It was like, and this is all they do to try to make me acceptive of this manipulation. They've done it to other people, and then they add in false memories, and then they have this low life who try to paint this profile as who you are. Like, I know who I am. Trash, I know who you are too. And I know what you're supposed to be doing. Top tier fucking pedophiles. To all my target individuals, stay strong.